What is spoon theory? Okay, so if you have been on the internet lately and you have been thinking about mental health issues, you've probably heard this spoonie or spoon theory idea. And I'm going to talk about what that is today, and I'm also going to talk about my opinion on it. So, the idea of spoon theory is this idea that in order to do anything in your life, anything from cleaning the house to going to work to having a shower to going out with your friends, everything has some sort of emotional cost. Or mental, physical cost. It could be that having a shower will cost you more than, say, catching up on your emails at your desk, or vice versa, depending on the person. So the short version of it is that you have a maximum capacity, maximum energy for the day, which is what the spoons are. So maybe you have 20 spoons available in order to do all of your normal activities on a daily basis, right? So you have 20 spoons and you spend 8 of them on going to work. That leaves 12. So 8 going to work, and then 2 to travel, so that's 10 spoons. You've got to cook dinner, so maybe that costs you 2 spoons. And so now we're on 12 total. You've got 8 more spoons left for the rest of your day. So, you think, okay, well, I want to have a shower, so maybe that costs 3 spoons. We're on 15 now. I want to go out and see my friends, so that costs 4. And then I still need to get ready to go to bed, so that's another 1. I've spent all of my spoons. That's it. I'm done. I can't do anything else without rest. And so the spoon idea is that you've got this maximum capacity and you spend it all on, well, maybe you don't spend it all, but you spend it on doing stuff, right? And there are certain things that cost more or less than others, depending on the person. So for you, you might have a job that you're really passionate about and you really love it, and it pays you loads of money, and you only have to go in 4 hours a day. And so for you, maybe it only costs you 2 spoons to go to work. Whereas for me, maybe I've got a job working in a can you hear that drilling? Maybe I've got a job working in a place that's got renovation going on, since that's the theme at the moment. Or maybe I work in a coffee shop and I really hate it. I don't know anybody there. I don't really have any friends there. I hate the work. I hate coffee. I hate the sound of the coffee makers, and I have to travel really far. So maybe for me, it is 8 spoons or 12. It's a lot. So everyone is going to have different costs for things, and everyone's going to have different capacities, right? So for you, maybe you've got 20 spoons, you spend 3 on work, you've still got 17 spoons to spend on anything you want to do today. And so it's pretty easy for you to get to the end of the day and have leftovers. And it's really important to have leftovers, because if you get to the end of the day having spent all of it, then maybe tomorrow you'll be more tired and you'll have fewer available. So it won't be 20 tomorrow, it'll be 18 if you're on the go right until the second that you get in bed. So maybe it's easier for you to get to the end of the day without that level of exhaustion. You've got at least 1 spoon left. So you're not that tired. Whereas for me, maybe the costs are higher, or maybe my capacity is lower, right? Maybe I don't have 20, maybe I have 12. So if I go to work, that's 8 of my spoons. I still have to spend 2 spoons on getting there, and then where am I going to get the spoons to get ready at the beginning of the day, to buy myself some lunch, and to come home at the end of the day and then make myself some dinner? And what about the rest of the day? Am I just going to spend the rest of the day unable to do anything, laying on the couch like a potato, feeling sorry for myself? So the whole idea behind spoon theory is the idea that you only have so much mental and emotional energy, And you can recuperate, you can recover and regain spoons by doing something de-stressing, relaxing or energizing. So maybe for you, you really like to watch a documentary on Netflix about murderers, and so you go and you watch a serial killer documentary, and you have that 45 minutes to an hour of rest time, and you sit and you chill, and then after that you got a spoon or two back, and so now you can go and wash the dishes and read your emails, feed your cat, whatever. That's basically it. Okay, we all have capacity, everything has costs. That's the crux of it. Okay, so how does this apply to mental health? So let's take the idea that everything is standardized. Everyone's work costs 8 spoons, everyone's travel costs 2 spoons, everyone's household cleaning costs 3 spoons if you do all of it, everyone's showering costs 2 spoons. Okay, all of that, all of the costs are universal, and everyone is expected to have 20, and a normal and perfectly healthy person, and all of those other really offensive terminologies that we can use. So a typical person has probably got 20, right? Well, something happens in your life and you become depressed, and now you've only got 15. Sucks to be you. So now you've got to try and do all of the things you were doing before whilst at lower spoons than everybody else, and nobody's going to be recognizing that you've got lower spoons because nobody knows what it's like to be you. Nobody, well, maybe they know the experience of depression, but that doesn't mean that they know what you're going through exactly, and they don't know, maybe for them depression only costs them 2 spoons a day, whereas for you it's costing 5. So you've got to try and get through all of this while on less spoons. Cat, oh, she wants to play and make all the noise right next to me. Okay, so that's the summary of spoon. God damn it. Hey! If I can bring her on video, I will. That's the summary of spoon theory. I'm speaking. You're very rude. Come and love me. That's the summary of spoon theory. Therefore, we're going to be dealing with different things. If you've got depression, you've got anxiety, you've got some sort of other mental health condition, then it's going to cost you on a daily basis. It might cost you some of your capacity, so instead of being 20, you're on 15. It might mean that the costs of things are more for you. So it might be that you require 4 spoons in order to shower rather than 2. Why is this useful? Well, it's a really good way for people to talk about their experience, to talk about how much energy they've got, to talk about what they're able to do in an understandable way that other people get and respect. Because chances are, if you're aware of spoon theory, then you probably have some awareness of mental health, have some compassion or consideration for it. Told you she wanted to be here. Don't go breaking things, please. So yeah, for me, I feel like I have fewer spoons a day when I'm depressed, and when I'm not depressed, whenever that is, people deal with it ongoing, right? When I'm not feeling so depressed, I maybe have more spoons, or I'm more able to recover my spoons. Might not change my capacity, but it might change what I'm able to recover during the day if I sit down and I watch some TV or I read my book or something. Now, there's another one that we can talk about called forks. And I'm not going to use inappropriate language. If you're an adult, you probably know what that word sounds like. And so it's the idea that you are able to tolerate something annoying, essentially. So let's say, for example, that normally when you are studying, let's say that you're a student and you're studying at university, and you need to sit down and you need to do some reading and make some notes and stuff like that. And normally this will cost you 3 spoons. but you not only have your spoon capacity, you have your fork capacity. How much in a day you can tolerate of stuff that's uncomfortable, stuff that makes you angry or annoyed or upset or distressed. Your ability to force yourself through or past those negative experiences, to tolerate those negative experiences, and maybe you have 5, let's say, and so you really hate to travel, and so in order to go to the library to get the book that you need in order to study, you had to spend a fork, and then you need a fork in order to get home, and then you've got 3 forks left for the rest of the day, and you're finding this book that you're reading really dull, and so that's probably going to cost you 2 forks because it's really, really dull. And then you've only got 1 fork left, and once you run out of forks, that's it, you have no more forks to give. And so maybe you will snap at somebody, or maybe you will end up running into your spoons, and your spoons will start reducing, or the costs for things will increase because you don't have the energy left to do it without it affecting you on an emotional or mental level. So there you have it. There's spoon theory and there's fork theory. For me, I think it's quite useful because I'm able to say to somebody, you know, I'd love to talk to you on the phone right now, but I have run out of spoons, and so I can't do it today. And then they know that it's not that I'm avoiding them, it's not about them, it's a me thing. I'm experiencing depression and anxiety, so I can't right now. I've already done all of the things today that I was planning to do and that have taken all of my energy, and I'm left with not enough to get through to the end of the day and have an hour-long conversation with you about various things. So it helps me to explain to people that it's not a dig at someone, or it's not someone's fault, it's just what I'm going through, and this is what my energy levels are like, and then they can understand what my experience is a lot more easily because it's quantifiable. You can put it into numbers by assigning spoons to stuff, and it can be quite useful for that. It can be quite useful for explaining to doctors, you know, because if you aren't a medical person, if you don't have a medical background or a psychology background, then you might not have the words to explain what you mean in a way that they'll understand. But this way of talking about it is so universal that anyone who's aware of spoon theory will get it. So if you need to explain to somebody what it is, if you need to talk to a doctor, you can go ahead and send them this video if you like. I'd be really interested to see what people think about spoon theory and fork theory and how it works for them, particularly for like different diagnoses. I know I've talked about my own personal situation, but I'd be really interested to hear about other people's personal situation in terms of mental health, and how it affects them, because I don't really know much about it beyond depression and anxiety, and like things like bipolar, and well, not so much bipolar. You tell me about you if you wanna. Thank you for watching this video and for putting up with all of the disruptions from my cat. And have a good one. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.